Next, today, I want to talk about central bank strategic gold accumulation, a decade of shift and trends. Could actually happen going forward with gold, right? I always believe, when you study gold, you study the movements of the central banks and what are they doing, because that is very, very crucial. We are at times where geopolitical tension is at its highest, and I think this is a suitable word. Economic supremacy is of the US is being challenged. So how is this being played out? I think gold is one of those ways, a strategic way to study, okay, and see how this thing is being played out. Now, over the past decade, what we have seen so far is that central banks have collectively purchased 1 out of every 8 ounce of gold mined globally. Okay, and it surpassed the demand for gold-backed ETFs by more than 3-folds. They don't want paper, they actually prefer the real gold, physical gold. Now, currently, national central bank reserve hold 15% of all gold ever mined throughout history. Okay, so since 2004, Russia and China have accounted for over 80% of the net central bank gold demand reported to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. However, in the last 3 years, their share has dropped to around 30% of the global total. Now, in the past 5 years, the top 5 gold buyers have been China at 377 tons, Turkey 284.9 tons, Poland 255.8 tons, India 209.5 tons, and Singapore 109.2 tons. Now, over the last 20 years, previously it's 5 years now, over the last 20 years, we can see that the leading gold purchasers are Russia, 1,943 tons, China, 1,662.5 tons, India, 464.3 tons, Turkey, 454.2, and Kazakhstan, 255.9 tons. And interestingly, European countries have been the net sellers of gold. Now, despite significant 21st century gold acquisition by Russia, China, and India, the largest gold holders today are still the US at 8,133.46 tons. This is followed by Germany, 3,352.31 tons, and Italy, 2,451.84 tons, and finally France, 2,436.91 tons. So this still remains, the top 5. The US and Europe remains the largest holder of gold. Now, the question now arises is this: why do central banks acquire and retain so much gold? What's happening to the point where every 1 every 1 out of 8 ounces of gold mined globally is being purchased by central bank? What is that significance? Now, an International Monetary Fund paper highlighted that deteriorating economic, financial, and geopolitical conditions in the 21st century have driven central banks to buy gold. This was the direct answer to it. Now, physical gold bullion is free from external control and financial risk. Okay, if you buy physical, that it's free. Okay, and this provides a hedge against the risk of holding the US dollars. Gold can be repatriated, shielding it from potential executive orders by the US president or actions by other governments. So this is one of the cool things as opposed to the US dollar. Now, historically, the Bank of England acted as the custodian of gold for most central banks and was recognized as the world's central trading hub. So you want to trade gold, England is the place. However, there's been a shift from west to east, especially after the US imposed sanctions on Russia. Okay, and when that happened, the Bank of England's custody holdings have decreased by 465 tons over the past 3 years, with central banks have collectively increased their bullion reserve by 1160 tons, likely even more in reality. Okay. So this indicates a move away from entrusting safe haven gold to the US key European allies, with today's major buys preferring to keep their bullion close and out of reach of US sanctions. So in recent years, the US and its allies in Europe and Japan have imposed financial sanctions on smaller emerging market economies to enforce their geopolitical agenda. So buying gold reserves not only as investment insurance, but increasingly as a political statement against the US-led gold order. So this what we are seeing that's happening right now. So if you look into overall the developments that you're seeing, right, what I'm seeing is that if you look ahead, gold prices could fluctuate between 1,007 and 2,006 for now, okay, until we see further developments. And how do I come to this number? 1,007 is being the average of all-in sustaining costs, the AISC, and the 2,006 as being the highest prediction among leading banks. Okay, so that's how we see that range there in the for the time being, later on. So, and one of the also the reasons why that suddenly there is this talk about gold is also because of BRICS, and we've seen more and more countries thinking of applying to BRICS. Now, even though there have been talks that BRICS would like to have its own money to transact in the new money, I don't think that's viable for the time being, because they are already transacting, doing trading in their own country's currency. As different countries, you're buying from India, then you use the Indian rupee and that kind of things. So that alone, I think, is sufficient for now. So whether it's going to happen in the future, it's not it. And also there are talks about petrodollar, the de-dollarization and all these kind of things. Now, all these small things contribute to it, and one of those things is gold. That's the reason I want to bring it up today. But this is not something that you're going to deal with immediately. Probably 10 and even up to 20 years from now, that probably can be a bit more significant. But just to highlight, so that those that are trying to protect their wealth, what's happening right outside there. But for now, from a trading point of view, in the longer term, until fundamental changes, this is the range of gold, which is between 1,007 right up to 2,006. Okay, so yeah, that's the report for today.